Vanny, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Lord, you can imagine where it goes from here.
Hi and welcome to the Zedos Gang, episode number 26. On today's show we'll be talking about Jackie Chan, Spider-Man Homecoming, Zombieland 2 and much more up in the Zedos Gang. How are you today, Joe?
Yeah, not bad, man. It's one of those days, miserable outside, but it's good inside. Whoever the hell that means.
Cold outside, no kind of atmosphere and all of that noise.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I'm good, man. Busy week. I haven't seen any films this week, so I haven't seen any films for a while, to be honest. But
okay.
Yeah.
What's the last thing you have seen?
The last thing I saw was Jason Bourne.
Oh, okay. I saw War Dogs, but I think I said that last podcast. I haven't seen anything this week. Mainly because there isn't much out. Get quiet.
I want to see Sacha's Party, and I wanted to see Pop Stars, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Yeah, we had that for like 2 days, but anyway, I can't really vent my frustrations about that up on here. But anyway. We had a few trailers on the show. First we're talking about The People's Garden. The People Garden?
The People Garden, yeah. So yeah, this is a film with
people in a garden.
Yeah.
Doing gardening.
Wait a second, I'm having a bit of sound trouble here.
Oh, okay. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so The People's Garden. This is a film with what's her name again? Pamela Anderson. Yeah, so this film stars Pamela Anderson. It looks like a crime drama thriller. It's set up to be that way anyway, or more of a thriller. Who would you say? Yeah,
it looks like it's kind of like missing persons kind of thing. I mean, this girl, she goes to look for a rock star boyfriend, but it turns out he's been abducted or gone missing in the woods or something.
Yeah, he's in Japan.
That's right, and it's set in Japan. Pamela Anderson seems to be in there quite a bit. Very, very different role to her CJ Turner thing or like, you know, anything she's done before. In a much more serious role. Hopefully this should be. Hopefully that should be like the breakup role in this film, being her doing something different, I guess, and hopefully I hope it works out for her. It's directed by Nadia Lintz. She's she's up and coming director. She's only done one other film before, but yeah, generally this trailer looks good. I hope it's okay.
I couldn't say it's good because I don't. The only thing I know about it is that someone's gone missing, and then there's no dialogue till the end at that point, and so it's a lot of dramatic shots with people looking away. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It creates mood.
Yeah, for me, I like any kind of crime thriller kind of thing or any kind of detective kind of drama, so that's kind of what this trailer kind of gives off to me, so that's why I'm looking forward to seeing it. Again, playing against the grain to something that Pamela Anderson's done in the past. Hopefully this works out, I think. That's just me personally being quite positive because I quite like the look of this trailer, you know.
This is the second film that I've seen an Orion release pictures on.
Of Orion Pictures release, yeah, that's weird. I thought they went bankrupt years ago and got bought out by Columbia, but obviously, I don't know, something's happened where they're getting their logo out again.
Yeah, well, that seems to be a thing. But yeah, The People Garden, not sure when it comes out, there's no release date for it. Yeah, but hopefully it won't go undetected. like some of these films do, because I mean this could easily get lost in the sea of films that that are very similar to this. So hopefully it will make a noise. But yeah. So on to the next film. What is that? The next film is the USS Indianapolis, and as I'm calling, the story from Jaws. So this stars Nicolas Cage. It's about the what is this about? A harrowing true story about a crew of the USS Indianapolis who were stranded in the Philippine Sea for 5 days, delivering the atomic weapons that would eventually end World War II. So this is basically. Do you know that story? In you've not seen Jaws, have you?
Well, I've seen Jaws.
Oh, okay.
Why would you think I haven't seen Jaws? I saw Jaws like years ago.
Okay, I asked you before, and you said you'd never seen it.
Yeah, that was like 5 years ago. I've seen it since.
Okay. Okay, so if you've not seen Jaws, there's a story right in the middle of the film where one of the characters talk about this very thing, this very film that's we're talking about, and he was in the ocean and he was seeing all his men just get they were shipwrecked, and they saw them, and he just saw all his friends get picked off by sharks, and that's literally what happens in this film. So yeah,
it's Jaws the beginning. That's what they should have called the film. No, but it seems more focused on the World War II aspect.
Oh yeah.
Than more the shark attack. I must say though, the start of this trailer for me, I wasn't really digging it until the shark came out and started eating people. I was like, what? Jaws 5000? The prequel? I don't know. Let's check this out. I'm like, it looks pretty good. Point to note, this is directed by Mario Van Peebles, believe it or not.
If you don't know who that is, he's a relic of the 80s.
A relic of the 80s stroke 90s, used to be an action star, straight to DVD territory here. What I didn't know was...
It would have been video.
What I didn't know was Tom Sizemore is in here, and so is Thomas Jane.
That's who you're focusing on. I'm focusing on Nicolas Cage.
What? Nick Cage? Nick Cage is Oscar-winning Nick Cage, man. Nick Cage is Nick Cage.
Who's Thomas Jane? Come on, man. No,
he's the Punisher.
Okay.
That's who Thomas Jane is.
Whatever, man. But Thomas Jane could have been a really big movie star, but he's not.
Well, he chose to do more indie films. He's a good actor. Yeah, he did. He did.
Okay, fair enough.
You should check out some of his films.
No.
Yeah, you should.
No, I shouldn't.
But why not?
Because I've seen some of the titles of those films.
Yeah, maybe you should check those titles. I loved them in Dreamcatcher.
I've got Paint to Watch Drying.
Okay, well, I'll recommend a few Thomas Jane titles. Broken Horses is good. Vice is good.
No, Vice is not good. Don't listen to him. I worked on that film, Vice.
Did you watch the film?
I worked on it.
Yeah, but did you watch it?
Yes, it's terrible.
What did you do on the film?
I did the graphics.
What? Like, for the whole movie?
Title graphics.
Yeah, but did you watch the rest of the movie?
I had to watch the whole movie.
Oh, okay. I don't think it was that bad.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad.
Well, you got to give him the miss, though.
No, it's bad. It's so bad.
Okay, that aside, you got to give him the miss.
Nah.
Why not?
No.
What about Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yes, that's a good film.
I know that's a good film.
That's not a small independent film.
I don't know, man. That wasn't that bad.
I'm not Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, it wasn't that big.
Yeah, but it's not a small independent film.
And Standard's quite good as well.
Fair enough. But
Standard's a really good movie.
Yeah, sure, okay.
It is. Check it out.
That's one out of...
I named you two.
How many?
I named you two.
What?
Scott Pilgrim as well.
What are you talking about?
You said that's one out of how many, and I named you two. Scott Pilgrim. You got to give me Scott Pilgrim.
I'll give you Scott Pilgrim, but it's not a small independent film.
I beg to differ, but anyway.
That's like a multi-million-dollar film, man.
Would you say Kill Bill was a multi-billion-dollar film?
multi-million.
What, would you say that was a multi-million-dollar film?
No, but that's not an independent film either.
Why is it not an independent film?
Because it's got Miramax at the front of it.
Miramax is a company that does independent film.
Yeah,
nothing but independent film.
It's not an independent film, man.
But how's it not an independent film?
If he went to anyone else than the Weinsteins or Miramax, then I would agree with you.
Oh, okay.
But
so the Weinsteins are not independent filmmakers? I mean, like Kevin Smith kind of went to them throughout his whole career.
Yeah, that's because they became, when they started to become a force of nature, they became more than that.
Right. Okay.
It's.
So at what date are we saying that they're no longer independent filmmakers?
When they opened their own studio.
Oh,
the Weinstein
so
Company.
the minute the Weinstein Company became the Weinstein Company, that's when they stopped. Is that what we're saying?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah. When any company turns into something, they're no longer an independent company.
So technically, when they were Miramax, they were independent.
Yeah, because there were two guys.
Okay, so then Kill Bill's an independent movie then?
How is it an independent movie?
Because that was under Miramax before they opened the Weinstein Company.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was before.
Well, who was Miramax owned by in 2003?
Disney. They've always been owned by Disney.
Okay, I'll rest my case.
But they've always been owned by Disney.
But yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Even back then, even when Pulp Fiction came out, they were owned by Disney. Is Pulp Fiction independent movie?
I can't call it an independent film anymore.
But it is.
Who's the money fronted by?
Miramax.
It's not an independent film then.
Well, why?
Because with independent films, your money doesn't come from a studio.
Right. Okay.
So I've got to change my conception of what I think independent. Look, if you guys out there who's listened to this, if you can correct me on this, I'll be glad to be shown wrong. But that's how I understand it as it is.
Yeah.
And so even working with people that I've worked with, all their films are independent purely because they're not getting any funding from any studio or any. I
mean, Reservoir Dogs. I mean, like that's also Miramax.
I can't call it independent though.
But they did it for $1 million.
Yeah, it's got independent budget.
Yeah,
definitely got independent budget, but I can't call it independent film anymore, purely because it's fronted by a studio.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of blurred by this whole subject now, purely because.
Well, I just threw it out there because it was in the realm of discussion here. So.
Now, why I say I'm blurred by it is because I had my perception of what I thought independent film was, but now that you've said that, I have to reevaluate.
But then you don't know the ifs and buts and how they got their name on the picture, though. But then, quite clearly, when it came to Kill Bill, there was always a relationship between Tarantino and the Weinsteins because they've been involved in all of his pictures to date. So, you know what I mean? I can't really say or evaluate on that, but I don't know. It depends on. But they used to be a very independent thing, and yeah, they got their money from Disney, but. Do you know what I mean? They were in the business of attaching their name to talented, independent filmmakers. I mean, that's what the Weinstein Company was built on. You know, so this is another.
I think I may be wrong at this point then.
Yeah, this is a different subject matter to tackle for another day, but that's an interesting debate there, nevertheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the USS.
Back on point.
That was the USS Indianapolis.
Yeah, and Thomas Jane does do good films, but anyway.
I think he's done about 3.
Yeah. Okay, but he's never been bad.
I can't say he has been bad, but he's just picked really bad projects. Nelly has.
Well, actors got to eat, so you know.
It's like Tyler Kitsch. I don't think he's a bad actor, but he's just picked really bad projects.
No, he's picked some pretty good ones. I'm pro John Carter, even though that didn't make him an A-list lister. It was a damn good movie.
Well, anyway, on to the next film. which is the Greasy Strangler. And yeah, this one's this trailer special. I don't know how to describe this film. How would you describe it?
I would describe it as weird jumper wearing people get horny and fuck each other's ugly girlfriend kind of movie. I don't know, it's just weird. It's just a strange film which has a strange sense of humour about it. That's all I got to say. I want to see it because it just looks outlandishly funny. It's very dark.
Well, the only reason I know about this film is because Empire have been going on about it for friggin' ages.
And I could see why, because they're still trying to evaluate what the fuck they just watched.
Yeah, well, if there's one thing, it is about a greasy strangler.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I don't know how to describe this film.
I would describe it as a horror thriller comedy.
Yeah, it's a very dark comedy.
Well, then it's a dark comedy.
But
I mean, like,
but what? That's not even. This is what I don't know what else to say about it. It's just so weird.
Well,
it's one of the weirdest things I've seen in a very, very long time, since Rubber.
Yeah, this is the second movie by Jim Hoskins. His last effort was the ABCs of Death 2. Yeah. That title's just as strange as this trailer. That's for sure.
That means John Schnepp might have something to do with this because he was involved with the ABCs of Death.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's such a weird trailer that I can't describe it to you. But yeah, it's horror / comedy / weird / old men, people being strangled, their heads getting caved in. It's a weird film. It's a really weird film, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
So that's a recommendation for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, it looks like a love triangle between a father, his son, and some girl. It's
just a weird film.
It's definitely the weirdest trailer I've seen. Put it in the notes below. Definitely check it out and let us know if you want to see the Greasy Strangler.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. Yeah,
it's weird.
It's just really weird. It's left a mark on me if you can tell. And sorry if the explanation for that trailer was bad. It's just that it's very meta. It's so out there. It's very hard to discuss. But yeah, that's that anyway. Okay, next trailer is Shut In, and this stars Naomi Watts.
And the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's a horror film. It's a horror / psychological thriller. But Naomi Watts has done this type of film before in The Lights of the Ring, and but I was more sold on The Ring. Just in the sense that because I knew what The Ring was, it was something I was looking forward to. I don't really know what this is, but it follows a very formulaic way of, in the trailer anyway, of being a horror / psychological film. Sach?
Yeah, just run-of-the-mill kind of horror movie.
But yeah, I wouldn't call this a straight horror film. It looks more psychological than it is horror because there are no real jump scares in this. It's very suggestive that something's around, but who the hell knows? What's the story about? So the story is about a child psychologist who lives in. Let me have a look at IMDb. Okay, so IMDb has the same synopsis. A heart-pounding thriller about a widowed child psychologist who lives in an isolated existence in rural New England. Caught in a deadly winter storm, she must find a way to rescue a young boy before he disappears forever. Yeah, I mean, going from that synopsis, there's not really much to go on other than to me the trailer looks like a very run-of-the-mill horror film. It's beat by beat what you would expect from something of this genre.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything new. It's not even the trailer is very kind of predictable. But yeah, that's the way they're marketing it. I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's going for the run-of-the-mill scares. So yeah.
It's been directed by Farron Blackburn. The previous film they directed, I say they, I don't know whether it's a male or female, was Hammer of the Gods, straight to Netflix and DVD. They've also directed episode of Daredevil, The Musketeers on the BBC, Doctor Who, Luther, Casualty, EastEnders, Holby City, Doctors, Waterloo Road, and Arrow. So, yeah, mainly TV director. One film to his credit. But yeah, we'll have to see, man. I mean, like, the trailer was very run of the mill. Obviously, they're like looking to sell it on Naomi. What's his name? Yeah, we'll have to see, man.
Yeah, so on to the news topics. And so, yeah, this is going to make one of my friends really happy. So Jackie Chan will be receiving an honorary Oscar for his work in the motion pictures and arts. And I would say it's about time.
Yeah.
He's I mean, I grew up with Jackie Chan, as many of us did. And before anyone knew who he was in the Western world, because I was watching Movie Talk the other day, daily known from Battle in the Bronx.
Yeah, and that really upsets me because, like, come on, man. Project A, Wheels on Meals.
Yeah, they're not going to know
Police Story 1, 2, and 3. What's that? Armor of God, Operation Condor. Those are Jackie Chan movies. Okay, when you got
Drunken Master.
Yeah, Drunken Master. Drunken Master. You know, Legend of the Drunken Master. I mean, like, those are Jackie Chan films. I mean, like, it really frustrates me when people. Oh, you know what? I remember I was working at Westfields, the cinema up in Westfields, about 5 years ago, and like, fair enough, it wasn't particularly a great Jackie Chan movie post. No, actually, no, I think it was The Karate Kid, which I didn't think was that bad. The remake of The Karate Kid, and there was a picture of Jackie Chan, and these kids, they walk past and they look at Jackie Chan and like, oh, he does shit movies, man, it's going to be well rubbish. And you know what, when your exposure is only his Western films, you got to understand, Jackie Chan deserves this Oscar, because you know what, like, for crying out loud, this is the guy that did kung fu movies that were there's a reason why he's big out in Japan and Hong Kong and in the East, okay? Because in the time of Bruce Lee, okay, when Bruce Lee was the shit, and he even appeared in Enter the Dragon for a split second, and he got his back broken by Bruce Lee. True Jackie Chan story, because he breaks an appendage of some sort in every movie. But I mean, like, you know, fucking hell, like, where do I begin here with Jackie Chan? I mean, like, in a time when Bruce Lee was the biggest martial arts star on earth, every martial artist back then was trying to be like Bruce Lee. All the studios wanted was Bruce Lee. So you had Bruce Lee, Bruce Lau, Bruce this, Bruce that. You know what I mean? When Bruce Lee died after the 7 great movies that he did, I mean, like, you know, there was a gap in the market, and like, they were just trying to make the next Bruce Lee. And what Jackie did was that he wasn't going to be Bruce Lee. He did all of his own stunts by himself, painfully, because he was a stuntman first before anything else. And then when he started making his own movies, you know, a Jackie Chan movie is a comedy first and foremost. I mean, his whole
comedian.
He's a comedian first and foremost. He's a martial artist as well. He does his own stunts. His inspirations were Buster Keaton. If you don't know who Buster Keaton is, man, you shouldn't be listening to this show. You should be a cinephile. Look up Buster Keaton. You know, Jackie Chan, like, just check out these films. Like I said them before. Check out Police Story, Armor of God. Police Story 2. Oh man, Police Story 2 has a brutal fight sequence in the park. The park fight sequence. Just YouTube park sequence, park fight, Jackie Chan, Police Story 2. Just YouTube that. Is like one of the best fight sequence I've ever seen in my life. Some people might say it's dated now, but no, that's fucking shit's real and it's fucking awesome, man. I like fucking Police Story 1. He catches a fucking bus with an umbrella, okay, with an umbrella, and beats people up on the bus while he's hanging outside the bus.
He attaches himself onto the bus.
Yeah.
Because the way you said it, it's like he catches.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I meant like you know the term. Like I'm going to catch the bus, but he ran after that bus. He grabs onto the bus as it's still running with the umbrella and climbs up the bus to the second floor, and he's beating people up from outside the bus, taking them down. And I'm telling you, that shit's all real and it's fucking awesome. There's no CGI, there's no stunt doubles, these are all real. And you know what was really funny about that particular action set piece? When the bus stops, okay, when the action sequences stops, okay, the bad guys on the bus, they actually fly out off the bus and bang onto the floor, okay? And in that take, those two guys had to go straight to hospital because it stopped a bit too early or something, so they missed their mark where they were supposed to fall, but they still rolled. And that's what Jackie did with all of his movies, like fucking just trying to think, not Armor of God, where's the one with Project A? Project A, there's a clock tower fight where man gets kicked out of a clock tower and falls down, breaks his back. Oh my god, you know what, there's so many, there's a top 10 of Jackie Chan stunts. I feel I need to say Armor of God, the opening of Armor of God, the guy more or less falls down a cliff and breaks everything, okay? In fact, that particular stunt, he almost lost his life. Like literally almost got paralyzed, lost his life and shit, and made it through. And when he came back to film, he has a haircut. Like if you watch the film, he has long hair, but in the same sequence, it's like he had a haircut the minute he fell down.
Okay, you don't need to go beat for beat.
I need no, seriously. It's just so much love for Jackie, man. I'm sorry, he's just fucking amazing, man. Like don't get me wrong, his Western films, everyone knows him from Rush Hour. Okay, Rush Hour. Fantastic movie. Rush Hour 2, fantastic movie. Shanghai Night, fantastic movie. The rest of them, you know what I mean? Like, they kind of pigeonholed them into, oh, he does the body comedy thing, let's leave him there. But real Jackie Chan fans know, let's watch his Hong Kong stuff. Seriously, I love Jackie Chan. Seriously, Oscars, long overdue, well done, bravo. Anyone else thinks he doesn't deserve an Oscar, you need to jog on. Yeah, literally, yeah, love Jackie. So I had a lot more to say about Jackie Chan than I thought I did, but yeah.
Well, you've said a lot. I don't. There's nothing much else I can say about that. But I'll go into one of my my favorite Jackie Chan moment is in Project A Part 2, I believe, where he's handcuffed to Yuan B, who's one of his fellow stuntmen. Someone he went to stunt school with. He went to school with, and they're handcuffed to each other, and this scene lasts about 5 to 8 minutes, and they don't have the keys to these handcuffs, and they have to kind of fight off all these guys that are on them, and just the stunts that they do with it. It's comedic. It looks good, and it's just so funny. It's like one of those. That will go down in history as one of those scenes that is action oriented, funny, and it has a sense of drama in it as well. And it's one of my favorite scenes of Jackie Chan. It's because it's just so well choreographed. Everything he's doing, all the stunts that he's doing, they look so well done. It makes you want to get up and try and do something like that. Not that you should. Yeah. I'm not condoning that. But that's possibly one of my favourite fight scenes in his earlier film.
I think one of the best qualities about Jackie Chan is that he gets beaten up. He's not the badass martial artist. You know what I mean? He's always the underdog guy, and they're always beating him up. And he takes the licks, you know what I mean? And then he'll win in the end, if you know what I mean, through will and skill. And the other thing I like, he's like the MacGyver of martial arts. Okay, he'll be in a situation, there'll be like 30 guys, and he'll just like look at everything that's around him, and he just use whatever object is there to beat up the guys. And that all stems out whenever they'd rehearse a fight scene, he'd just look at what they got, and then he'd make the fight based on what they had at the time. You know what I mean? In the earlier days, and it's just worked out, man.
Yeah, and again, when he came to when he started doing stuff in the US, it's like what you said. It's the US would have a very different way of doing things, and so even when he did Shanghai Nights, or that series, it looks like they still want to do another one, but I can't see them getting Jackie for that. You could see that it was all diluted, it was all watered down.
Well, it was all. Well, this is the thing with that time, is because, you know, obviously there's insurance stuff and whatnot, and I think the other thing is, if you look at the Rush Hour series, most of those stunts are because Brett Ratner was a huge Jackie Chan fan.
He reused them.
He reused like some of the best scenes from these films in the Rush Hour series, because at least he had the storyboard to show the investors what Jackie was capable of doing. It just meant Jackie had to recycle some of those old stuff in the Western films, because, you know, obviously if they don't know what they're seeing, you know what I mean, you'll be like, no, it'll be just like this from this movie, which is a shame for us hardcore Jackie Chan fans, because we like to see new stuff. And like my favourite Western film of the past 20 years, where even though it's not the greatest film, at least it was some original fight choreography that hadn't been used, was Shanghai Nights, when he does the stuff with the umbrella in Shanghai Shanghai Nights. That stuff wasn't pre-used stuff. That was stuff that was all original for that film. But you are right when you're saying that. I mean, like, the West has always had, like, you know, they've always wanted it done a particular way, if that makes sense. I can remember, like, before he tried to make it big in the 80s, I think early 80s or late 70s, when he did the Cannibal Run films. He did the first Cannibal Run films, and he wanted to do like his little thing, but they wanted him to do it like
very old school.
Yeah, old school. Like back then, when they saw Kung Fu, they were expecting someone to do a karate chop and hi-ya with that cheese kind of thing that you had back then, and that was Kung Fu, and people would be like, "What the hell is this?" You know, if I remember correctly, there was this film Jackie did right after Cannibal Run 2 called The Protector, okay? And it's his first US film where he's the star kind of thing. This is like, I don't know, probably like over 20 years before Rush Hour, okay? While he was big in America, while he was just, you know, big in Hong Kong. And basically, it was quite literally that style of fighting. There was some of Jackie Chan's elements to it, but it was very restricted. It was directed more like an American movie and stuff. It's called The Protector, I think. Now, I think it might have been called like about 3 other titles as well, but at the moment it's currently The Protector. You can get on DVD. I've got it on DVD, and it does suck balls, because it's not Jackie doing what Jackie does. And it's really funny because he followed that up with Police Story, which is one of the greatest Jackie Chan movies ever made. I mean, like, you know, like, this is all coming off, like, you know, he did like a good run of movies with Sammo Hung from what's the Western TV show that he did? Kid one. It was called
Martial Law.
Martial Law. So Sammo Hung from Martial Law, basically him and Yun Biao, who's not really big in the West. They're basically 3 guys that did a whole load of movies together. They did Meals on Wheels, they did Project A, they did Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars, and they did like about 5 movies together, and they are fucking awesome movies, man. And then Jackie went off on his own and became the big star that he was with the Police Story films, and, you know, the rest is history, man. Armor of God came, and, you know, Project A Part 2, and yeah, man, just such a great career, man, Jackie Chan. And to be quite honest, like, I just wished that, you know, like, he'd done more stuff in the West, that was fucking to what he wanted to do. But he doesn't have to. This is the best thing about Jackie Chan. He doesn't have to, because those that know. You know what I mean? And people know who he is from, hopefully, when he does do a Western film. You know what? My biggest thing that I think the good thing about him doing Western films, that now that people that see him in Karate Kid or The Spy Next Door, they're like, oh, that's Jackie Chan. What did he do before? And they rediscover those films that he did so well. But yeah,
I guess with kids these days, I don't know.
I don't know. I still think Jackie's action style is second to none, and is so, you know, especially those older films, so, you know, like, if I recommend it, look, seriously guys, if I'm to recommend a film, like right now, normally I'd save this for old but new, I would recommend Police Story 1, 2 and even 3. Okay.
What's wrong with 3?
Nothing's wrong with 3. It's just, you know what it is about the Super Cop series or the Police Story series? They kind of go, after number 2, 1 and 2 are very much the same kind of movie. If you know what I mean.
3 has a budget.
3 has a budget, but 3 is very, very different.
It's more of a drama.
It's more of a drama. It's a different tone to the other 2. You know what I mean? And then after that, you had the spin-off one, Super Cop 2, where Michelle Yeoh's the main person and Jackie cameos. But then after that, you've got...
they reboot it, don't they?
Well, no, they don't. Well, they send his character on a secret mission, and then it becomes Jackie Chan First Strike, because he's playing the same character, but he's, you know what I mean? And First Strike, yeah, it's more with a budget, but it's a different movie compared to what Police Stories 1, 2 and even 3 was. And then they reboot it, and then it becomes something completely different, because if you watch New Police Story, it's a different tone.
No,
you know
it's
I mean?
serious.
It's more serious. It's a good film, but I just don't think it's worthy of that Police Story type. Like, it's a fantastic film, but do you know what I mean? Like, in a film series, you want things to stay consistent. And if there's anything I can say about the Police Story series, it's always changed or went different in the later installments. For me, Police Story will always be 1 and 2. I love Super Cop. I do love Super Cop. Super Cop's an awesome film, but I don't really see it as part of 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 he has the same girlfriend, you know, it has its own kind of like family and jokes. Even the inspector, I think the only person that outside of Jackie in those films that's consistent in all the film is the uncle character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The uncle's in all of these films except for maybe like the later ones, but he showed up in First Strike. You know what I mean? It was like Jackie got a promotion, even the uncle got a promotion. You know what I mean? Like, but they don't address stuff, because I miss stuff. What I loved about 1 and 2 was that you had the inspector character, and the inspector character was joke. You know what I mean? But yeah, we've spent like way too long on this, but
yeah, it's spent a while on this.
But we could spend, you know what? I could spend like a whole podcast on Jackie Chan. But I think if I ever decide to do that, I have to bring one man here, and that's Imran Yusuf.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that we should save that and actually do that as a Jackie Chan special.
Well, just if he wants to come on the podcast.
He will. He will. Just say, look, we just want you to talk about Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to do that. I'll ask him when we pass 30. I'll start asking other people to do this thing. But so that was Jackie Chan. He's going to be getting an honorary award for Academy Award for his work in film. So yeah, it's about time. Okay, so on to the next topic, Uncharted. Okay, so Sony has been planning to bring a live-action version of the Uncharted film to the cinema screen, and it keeps being put back. And now it's been put back again to 2018, I believe. So they've got no director attached to it. They've got no official story. Do you think this film's ever going to get made? I think it will. They have a writer. It's Joe Carnahan. Okay. Yeah, he's literally stopped doing this to do. But he's still attached to write. Yeah, but that's the thing. If he could just say, yeah, I'm done with this. Dave, okay, all right. You're looking too much into it. This is
This is what's going on.
But that's what happens to films, though, man.
Yeah,
You got to admit.
but stop jumping up. Let me. I haven't finished. What I'm trying to say is, Joe Carnahan has only just been hired to write it. Okay? He did say he'd like to direct, but he's got other commitments. Bad Boys. Okay? They're not rushing it out. That's a good thing. Because it looks like they're listening. Could it be that Sony are actually trying to develop this?
No.
You don't think so? Why not?
Because it's Sony.
Why? There's no release date.
There's not one film last year or this year that has worked out well for them.
And maybe that's a lesson learned.
I'm praying for Magnificent Seven to be okay.
Really?
Praying.
It looks okay.
It does, but it may not be.
Have you heard things otherwise?
No.
Then how do we know?
Did you see the last Spider-Man film?
Yeah, but that was years ago.
Yeah, it was.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago.
Nothing's changed.
Well, you know what?
I've got no faith in Sony.
Okay. You have no faith in Sony. Okay, first thing they did, they've released the Spider-Man property to Marvel.
No, not really. But
what do you mean? No, not really.
It's still being released through Sony.
Yeah, but that's a smart move, giving the character back.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got no problem with this movie. Okay, like there's because Marvel have control.
Sure.
Okay, but
do you trust any of their other features?
The other stuff?
Yeah.
Look, we're just talking hearsay. We don't know till shit comes out. Okay.
I'm not even saying hearsay about Uncharted.
It's like they've cancelled the Men in Black thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that was scaring me because that would have killed 2 franchises, let alone 1.
Everything Sony pictures do at the moment scares me.
Yeah, but it's brilliant to make a statement like that. But let's look at what they've got coming up. Okay, you've got Bad Boys 3 and 4. Okay, 3 first. They've got a great director attached. Bad Boys looks like it's in good hands. They can't fuck that up. How do you fuck up Bad Boys? If Bad Boys comes out and it is fucked up, then I'll join. I'll be like, fuck Sony. But look, that's one property. That's something good. The Jump Street series. They're going to do another Jump Street. Thank God they're not doing that fucking thing. Okay? Because that looks like that's something that was under the old regime. You know what I mean? That's not happening now. So good one, Sony. They're getting their little dots in play. Spider-Man Homecoming. That's 3 franchises right there. Okay? Them pushing back Uncharted is a wise decision. Okay? Because it's not them just churning it out. You know what I mean? Maybe they like what Canahan's doing on Bad Boys. Maybe they're grooming him to direct Uncharted. I don't know this. I'm just saying if, buts, maybes. But the fact they've taken it off says one thing to me, and that says they're waiting to see what the screenplay is like this time round, rather than churning it out. Because I think they know they're onto something with that franchise. Otherwise, if they really wanted to churn it out, they would have done it years ago with Robert De Niro and Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake under the other guy. I love Huckleberry's guy. I've forgotten his name. The guy that directed Three Kings and all them, Jennifer Lawrence and
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. No, David O. Russell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
David O. Russell. Okay, they would have done David O. Russell's Uncharted. Okay, and David O. Russell probably would have cried when people said it was shit, because he's not known for taking criticism. Okay, fantastic director, David. Just saying, fantastic director, but just going by, like certain stuff. Cool. I love your work, by the way. But yeah, I wasn't looking forward to his Uncharted, and I think Sony know that. Because they're in a state of flux right now, and they know it. Look at Ghostbusters. That failed. It failed miserably. They have to look. They have to listen. They have to. They have to learn from that.
But will they?
Well, I don't hear them greenlighting Ghostbusters 2. You know what I mean? if they greenlit Ghostbusters 2, that's them not learning, and they haven't, because they know. They're doing what Sony does best. They're doing the thing where they're like, yeah, we're gonna shut up for now, and then rejuvenate, and then come out with a plan. And then, yeah, you know what? Marvel's got Spider-Man again. Look at their Spider-Man plans. Remember the Spider-Man plans? I'm still waiting for that Aunt May movie. I feel like I need to make that myself.
Well, no. All I'm saying is that they've got an uphill struggle with me. I'm looking forward to the Magnificent Seven, but that's only because of Anton Fuqua and
of course.
Who's the actor?
Denzel
Washington, yeah, and because that's just a fascinating spin on that whole thing, and so beyond that, anything that comes out of Sony, I'm very I don't know, but yeah, as long as Amy Pascal.
Well, she's not the CEO anymore.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As long as Amy Pascal is not there anymore, I can't.
Well, she's still there.
Tim Rothman isn't any better, so.
Well, it just means, okay, here's the thing with Tim Rothman, judging by his track record at Fox, we're going to get a lot more rom-coms out of them. We're definitely going to get a lot more action movies out of them, hence Bad Boys, hence Uncharted. Maybe Tom Rothman was like, hey, I know how to make an action movie, you guys ain't making a good action movie. And he's got a good relationship with Canahan, hence why they got the right guy for the job. So I have no problem with Rothman when it comes to those two genres. It's the comic book and sci-fi genre where I'm like, because he doesn't like spending too much money on films. That's fact. Okay.
And so the other angle I can put onto this is that because there's one video game film did okay this year,
which was
World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, Warcraft.
Or just Warcraft.
Who's that word? That's
Universal.
That's Universal.
And in my eyes, that I think it's a bit of a waiting game as well. Okay, let's see what Assassin's Creed does.
Yeah, definitely.
And if I think Assassin's Creed will do maybe better than Warcraft does.
Yeah.
So we've only got a few more months to find that out, but there's more of a buzz around that than there was around Warcraft.
Yeah, definitely. Mainly because of the star power and just the trailer looking okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's an easier story to sell.
Yeah.
It's it's a genre. Would you call it a genre? Yeah, it is a genre film. It's easier to market, and it shows. But and then you've got Tomb Raider coming out. Is it next year? I'd like to say next year.
I think it's in 2 years.
Yeah. So you've got Tomb Raider coming out, which it looks like they've got a solid story for it. I mean, all they have to do is follow the game, essentially. But yeah, I'm sure they'll come up with their own original spin on that.
I mean, look. I mean, they've got time to wait and see how the video game adaptation plays out with other movies, and also they've got time to write a decent screenplay.
Yeah.
You know, that's literally all there is to say, really. I mean, there's nothing really to say other than, you know, how you look at the delay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think the delay's a good thing than them rushing it and giving us a garbage piece of shit that costs like $60 million, and like just fuck it up.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. Well, okay, so on from Uncharted onto Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is the same studio.
Yeah.
According to new reports, Iron Man director Jon Favreau will be reprising his role as Happy Hogan in the Spider-Man: Homecoming films, and as I said, Happy Hogan appeared in Iron Man 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And so I liked his character. And that is very minimal, is a very small part, but his character's funny. And I haven't seen him act in a while, so I'd like to see that. Someone on the Movie Talk said something really stupid a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah, what they said?
I think it was John Roker. He said that the more and more he sees Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, the more he doesn't seem believable as that character. And so he's an actor. His job is to play that character. He says he doesn't see him as a bodyguard or anything like that. He said he sees him more as a director. Well, he's not an actual bodyguard. He's an actor as well, and that really annoyed me because it's a stupid comment. He's an actor. He's meant to act the role.
It's just how he feels about when he sees Jon Favreau.
Sure, I get that, but if he said,
Jon Favreau hasn't, understandably too, hasn't really done that much acting of lately, and being in films lately, and that's due to his directional duties on The Jungle Book. To be honest, I don't know, man. I guess maybe, but some people feel the same way about certain actors. Sure. Like everyone's got that actor there. They're like, I'm not too sure about that dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Maybe Jon Favreau is just that. Everyone's different. Me, it's Jai Courtney, but I just don't rate him. Although I will say this, he was okay in Suicide Squad. If anything, I wanted more Jai Courtney in Suicide Squad, but for more comedic reasons than anything. But that aside, it's just an opinion. I think it's a good thing that he's in there. There's no reason why he shouldn't be. I mean, he's Tony Stark's bodyguard. You know what I mean? I think it's an interesting connection to the whole Marvel universe, just having him in there.
Yeah, well, that kind of cements everything.
And plus,
really.
the cool thing about someone like Happy Hogan is the fact that he hasn't been overused as much in the other films as certain other characters. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a win-win there.
Do you ever think they'll bring Pepper Potts back?
I think maybe for Iron Man 4, if there is an Iron Man 4.
So not even the. So you don't think you'll see her in any of the?
No, I don't think she'll be in the Infinity Wars or anything like that. I think her deal played out with, the third Iron Man, the third Iron Man kind of thing, because it's 3 movies and the Avengers. I don't think they renegotiated on that. I think they could get her back for 1 day's worth of work on these films and do what they can in a 1 day. That's not out of the realm, if that makes sense. But do you know what I mean? But,
if there's one thing this whole Marvel universe is known for, is its consistency.
Yeah.
Apart from freaking hell, who's Iron Man's other guy? What's wrong with me today?
War Machine.
Yeah, War Machine. They changed War Machine, but there's a whole political reason for that. But,
they changed the Hulk.
Sure, but the Hulk's changed 3 times.
Yeah.
And so I would. I mean, it's known for its consistency, and so I would at least hope to see her one more time, or something at least, or even if they just, I mean, like they did in Civil War, she's off doing her own thing, or whatever. So yeah, maybe do that. I don't know, but this is good news all the same. Anyway, again, it's the, I think this is like the 80th person that's in this film now.
Well, no, we've got Cap, we've got Iron Man, we've got him.
Every week there's someone new in this film. It's like we're going to be in the cast in this film soon.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't say I'm in the States. If they film in Washington and do what they did in previous Spider-Man movies, they always say, hey, if fans want to be in it, just show up at this place at this time and we'll film it, and like you can be in the Spider-Man movie. They did that on Sam Raimi's one first. The wrestling ring, that was all the extras were all fans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the thing. Sam Raimi set that up, and then I did the same in every Spider-Man film to date. So
nice,
yeah.
nice. Okay, well, on from Spider-Man Homecoming to Margot Kidder. Okay, so if you don't know who Margot Kidder is, she was the Lois Lane in the 1978 Richard Donner Superman, and she's had something to say about the recent versions of the Man of Steel Superman films, and she says that she loves Amy Adams, but they haven't given her enough to do with Lois Lane. She's had, when she had the chance in 1978 to play that character, she had more to play with, and it was a more incredibly sexist world at that time as well, and so I'm inclined to agree with her in that sense. I mean, I was paraphrasing it, but she's got a point. Amy Adams at this time has not impressed me as Lois Lane. She's just been that person that she's like been the MacGuffin for Superman to save.
Yeah.
Or I mean, in Batman vs Superman, she was always getting into trouble. She was. What was her main purpose in that film?
Okay. I haven't ripped this film yet. I really haven't. But in Batman Superman, I guess her main purpose was to run to Superman and pick up the kryptonite, and then run to another area and throw it away, and then she had to run back for a spear or something, and then run away again, and then run back somewhere else, and run back again. She just seemed to run back and forth in the whole... You know what? I don't even remember her even being in a fucking movie. The movie was so fucking shit, I don't care. It's quite literally, it's gone from my head. Like, I remember Doomsday showing up and me just going, oh, well, this is shit. And then go, oh my god, actually it is shit. What were we talking about? Amy Adams. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
right. Okay. So it's not Amy Adams' fault. It's just bad. It's just bad script writing.
She says that. She says that though.
Yeah.
She says
it's just bad script writing, and on top of that, it's, to be honest, every incarnation of Lois Lane since Margot Kidder, movie-wise, not TV-wise, has been shit. I mean, like, what was Kate Bosworth? Oh my god. Now, she was terrible. She was worse than Amy Adams. So the worst thing about Amy Adams is we know she could do it. That's the worst thing. And Kate Bosworth was terrible.
Yeah.
Was fucking horrendous.
Miscast.
Yeah, miscast like a motherfucker.
How can you go from Margot Kidder to her?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Like she's easy on the eye, but like she just can't act.
I would have said at the time
as Lois Lane.
I would have gone for Courtney Cox.
Yeah,
because she's got that same kind of thing that Margot Kidder
maybe
had.
in the 90s. Not
that's
so
what.
much.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, not even in the last one.
Yeah,
I would say she's got that. She's the
she
same type.
I personally really like Erica Durance from Smallville. I mean, like, I'm not a fan of Smallville the show. I actually don't like that show, but I felt her Lois Lane was one of the highlights about that show. She was really good in the character when they did the later seasons, when she was actually being Lois Lane of the Daily Planet. Was really really well cast. She was definitely one of the highlights to watch that show. Same with Terry Hatcher in Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. I mean, like, Terry Hatcher, she was Lois Lane. She was a very good Lois Lane. She had the character down to the T. And Margot Kidder, she in terms of the movie Lois Lane, she is the best. Okay, she was given a lot more material. She was smart. She was witty. These other two Lois Lanes, Margot Kidder, Kate Bosworth and Amy Adams, they're just not given enough material to actually be detectives or reporters, you know what I mean, and do that kind of work. I mean, like, what I liked about the director's cut of Superman 2 is when she fools him into revealing that he's Superman. I mean, like, in the theatrical cut, he trips over a pink bear rub, and and it's really rubbish the way he reveals his identity to her in the theatrical cut, but he puts his hand in the fire and she wants to see the burn, and he's like, yeah, sure, there you go. And that just made no sense. But in the director's cut, she shoots him if you ever watch the director's cut of Superman 2, which is quite possibly the best director's cut of anything in my opinion, because it's like watching an alternative version of a movie, like a completely different version of that movie. Everything's the same, but it's 100% different. But basically, they're in a hotel room. They have a discussion about why Superman's never there when he's around, etc. And if you watch this version of the movie, it seems to be an ongoing argument that they have from the start of the movie, because the notion is implanted in her from the first movie, because Jimmy Olsen says it in the first movie. In the second movie, that's played on heavily in the director's cut, especially. And at this point, when the reveal happens, she's confident that this is Superman. So she puts a gun to her head and goes, I'm so confident that you are Superman that you will stop the gun from hitting me. And he's like, whoa, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? And then she shoots him in the chest. And then he takes off his glasses and he says, well, Miss Lane, if you were wrong, Clark Kent would have died. And she turns around and she goes, what, with a blank? And that's just smart. It shows that she's a reporter. She's cunning. She's devious to the point where she would trick him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get the scoop that she needs. And she does it. And the way they pull it off is so fantastic. I tell you what, those two films don't get enough credit these days. Everyone's into the spectacle of the superhero movies. But none of this shit would even exist if it wasn't for Christopher Reeve's Superman. Mm-hmm. Champion that flag once again. But, like, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, Margot, as you said everything that I could. She's still my favorite on-screen version of Lois Lane. I don't know at this point if anything can be done to save Amy Adams' version of
a better script and a better sequel where we just forget about Batman and Superman.
But the thing is, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I guess once Doomsday's been let out the bag, the stakes cannot be risen.
Yeah, how much farther you get? You've already killed him.
Yeah.
And you've already shown at the end of the film that he's coming back. That's your rookie mistake. You don't bring a character... Even in the freaking Transformers film, they didn't do that. I'm talking about the animated 1986 Transformers film, where they kill off, spoilers, kill off Optimus Prime, and he doesn't come back. he stays dead. There's no dirt raising from the ground, or there's no turning something on him, and he's back to life. He's dead.
Yeah.
And they do it to the two main characters in that film. That's devastating. And if you're going to stick to your guns, even though Superman does come back, they played that card way too early.
Yeah,
way too early. How can you kill that character off in the second film that he appears in? That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's absolutely ridiculous. And you already killed off Zod, so you've killed off all the characters. They've killed off all the characters that would make you want to return to the cinema to see that spectacle. I would have played the lesser known characters first, but yeah, I'm going off book now. But
it just comes back to that sore point of Batman Superman being the shittest film of the year so far.
Okay, so anyway, going on to the next story. So yeah, this is a bit of a sad one for us, I guess. Some of the younger audience wouldn't know who this is, but yeah. So unfortunately, Gene Wilder passed away earlier this week, and Warner Brothers are releasing some of the films that he was in, like Blazing Saddles and Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I don't know if that's going to be released over here, but I know they're doing that in the States. So yeah, that's it's unfortunate. Gene Wilder, to me, he was always that guy with Richard Pryor, and that's how I first knew who he was. Before I knew him anything else, I always used to watch films on TV, and he always used to be stir crazy, and what's the other
See
one?
No Evil, Hear No Evil?
No, I saw that later on. It was Silver Streak, and they did a few other films together as well. But I always thought them two were like a comedy double or something, because they were always their chemistry together was so good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's so good, man. And even his films without Richard Pryor.
I've actually never seen Silver Streak.
Really?
I've never seen it, but I saw the trailer because I was like, "What's Silver Streak?" And you know what? I looked at the DVD cover on IMDb. I was like, that looks really cool. I don't know what it is, but I need to check this film out. So I checked out the trailer. It has a cool trailer, so that's on my list of stuff to watch. But the two that I remember is Stir Crazy and See No Evil, Hear No Evil is just a classic, all out, man. That's probably one of my favourite films of his. And like a lot of people love Willy Wonka. I grew up with that version of Willy Wonka, but I wouldn't say that I was like, oh my god, this is my Charlie and the Factory. I didn't watch it 24/7. But my introduction to him was literally his double act feature with Richard Pryor. See No Evil, Hear No Evil is one of my favourite comedies of all time. That and
that's one of the later ones they did as well.
Yeah, that and Stir Crazy, and then you know, obviously Blazing Saddles. You know, like that was a favourite of mine, of his, and you know.
I think my favourite part in Blazing Saddles is when he said he's retired. And it was the reason why he retired. He said, "Look at this hand, steady as a whistle." But yeah, your hand looks okay. Yeah, but this is my shooting hand. It's just wobbling like that. And that's just comedy. That's comedy gold. That you can't. Yeah. There's barely any comedies like that anymore. But anyway, yeah. There's a whole list of other films as well. Like what was it? Young Frankenstein. That's such a. I never understood that film when I was younger. I need to watch that film again, but when I was younger, I was like, this film's odd. This film's so weird. It's black and white. What's going on? But yeah, it's again. I have to venture into that film again, but he's a quite unique actor. What's the one he did? Was it The Woman in Red that he did with that chick from Weird Science?
The Woman in Red?
I'm sure it was The Woman in Red.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was, yeah.
And that was a film that came on as well quite regularly as well. And just Richard Pryor, to me, was that guy. It was almost like I don't know. He's such a charming individual. He's got that cheeky grin.
Yeah.
And he's just got a good sense of comedy timing. There's no one else like that guy, man. He was until he died. No one really said anything about him, but now everyone's starting to. You started to see that Gene Wilder was quite a staple in a lot of people's lives in terms of their film watching.
Oh, he did a lot of classic movies. I mean, like, you know what, like, looking at his filmography right now, he hasn't really been in movies for a really long time. He's been in TV films and stuff.
Mm.
But the last film he did was Another You with Richard Pryor.
Yeah, that was one of the last ones he did, right?
Yeah, and that was in 91. And then throughout the 90s, he's just been in TV series and stuff. I wonder why that is, because he's definitely an actor that...
Well, he had Alzheimer's.
Oh, is that why? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And he there's one thing he said that he started to say it's very hard to do comedy now purely because there's a lot of swearing involved, and he wasn't someone that wanted to swear a lot in his films. He just thought it was getting a bit too dirty.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. I mean, times change, and you either feel comfortable with it or you don't really. And yeah, I guess he didn't feel comfortable about it. And but yeah, as you said,
that's really funny coming from the guy that you saw with Richard Pryor, though.
Yeah, I know. But the way they dealt with it in films isn't like the way they do it now. It's more vulgar now.
Definitely.
Back then, it was very matter of fact.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, he will be missed, and I'm sure come Oscar time he'll be on the what's it called, in memoriam wheel. So yeah, if you catch some of those films if you can, is such a great talent that we've lost in film, and so yeah, I beg you to watch some of the films that are on that list. He will be missed. Right, on to Zombieland 2. So I didn't actually know this, but the writers of Deadpool writing Zombieland 2, and it looks like this is actually happening now.
Well, they wrote the first one.
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It looks like this is actually happening now, and so I love Zombieland. It was now that I know that, so much more makes sense. In the terms of Deadpool's comedy and Zombieland's comedy. I can't. If this happens, I can't. Woody Harrelson, he was my favorite character in that, because he was such a scripted. It was 2-dimensional, but he was 3-dimensional at the same time. He was like, yeah, he's that character.
Yeah.
And he just played it to a T, man. I can't wait to see that character again. I suppose Jesse Eisenberg, this is his one of 2 roles that I like to know. He worked for the part. And what was the other one he did with that?
McLovin.
No, 40 minutes.
Was that Michael Cera? I always get those two confused.
I'm talking about a film. He did another 40 minutes.
30 minutes or less.
Yes, yeah, yes. That was the only other film that I liked him in.
Oh yeah.
Ever since then, Jesse Eisenberg's been annoying as hell.
Well, he just did this one film that made you write him off.
No. There's other films that I don't like him in as well. I don't really like him in the Social Network, but
oh, okay.
I guess he's playing that type of character.
Yeah.
But even after that film, I've seen him in other things where he's just that guy.
Yeah.
And
like the stoner comedy with what's her face, Twilight Girl.
I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch that either.
American
Ultra.
Yeah, I never watched that. And a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I anything with his name on it now, it automatically just I'm gonna back away from this one.
Yeah.
And it's not really got anything to do with him. It's just he hasn't done anything where you hired Jesse Eisenberg for being Jesse Eisenberg in a film. And that seems to be about it. That's the length of his power or his acting ability. I'm gonna turn up and be me, and that's about it. I mean, you've got your actors that are like that for specific things, but
well, now you see me.
I didn't watch that either.
Oh, you never thought? It was run of the mill. It wasn't. You know what I thought was hilarious was like a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, this is an amazing film."
No, it isn't.
And it's an okay.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's an okay film. It's an okay film. It's not nothing fantastic. I think it's one of those. It could have been a lot better. I found with heist movies, you want it to be like Ocean's 11 and not like Ocean's 13. That's kind of my point with heist movies, and whenever it's a studio just whatever, it's always going to be like Ocean's 13. You want to be like 11 where they're the man, you know what I mean, where the heist was worth it. This one's just it's not good. It's just okay. It's an entertaining watch, but it's okay. The second one just should have. I didn't even bother, but looked like a lot of other people didn't bother. So I know where they're doing sequels because they were going to do 2 more sequels, but we'll
really
have to see. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, in any case, Zombieland 2. If they're getting everyone back for this, I know one particular person who can't be in it, but I wish he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to say anything. If you've not seen the first Zombieland, you'll be pleasantly surprised in the middle of the film who turns up.
But you know what? Zombieland 2, you know, they're bigger stars now here, man.
Oh yeah, man.
She's a huge star now. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's been 10 years since the last one, almost.
2008.
So almost 10 years. By the time this comes out, it will be 10 years. So be interesting to see what they do there. But yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it totally. Okay, so on to the next story, and that is. So Ben Affleck was on. Was it on Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, it was Facebook.
Okay, he's on Facebook, and he recorded footage from something that he was clearly looking at.
It's test footage.
Yeah, so he's looking at a screen, and he put that on one of his accounts, and it turns out to be it's a villain, Deathstroke, who's a Batman villain.
Yeah.
And it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. If that's, I'm looking forward to what Ben Affleck does with that character.
This looks like a lot of people were saying this is Justice League, blah blah blah. It's not Justice League. They wrapped weeks ago. Okay, this is most definitely test footage for the Ben Affleck Batman movie. Obviously, they haven't cast Deathstroke yet, but this is the outfit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to say it looks better than Arrow's. Because Deathstroke appeared in season 2 of Arrow, and he was a fantastic character in that season. They haven't cast him yet. The guy they had in Arrow was a fantastic dude who they got. It'll be interesting to see who they get, because obviously the TV people are going to be like, oh, the same guy, but you don't need the same guy.
I heard it was going to be that guy from the Captain America film. I forgot his name. Oh,
the guy that plays Crossbones.
Yeah.
He'd be an interesting pick. He would be but I wouldn't. The reason why I'd be like, is because it's too similar a character, too similar a role for him to be him. But I wouldn't be against.
Well, it's not like he can return as the other character.
He can.
Fair enough.
That's all I was going to say. I believe he's dead. It's the Marvel Universe. If you knew what else went down.
Hey man, if you can survive a direct explosion to the head, then you can survive anything.
I don't believe that he's dead. I think I want Crossbones to return because I want him to fight the Punisher. That's all I'm going to say.
It's very unlikely at this point.
At this point, it depends which way they go. If he came back and had a good explanation that was like, yeah, he's back, I will buy it. Or you know what? Just make him come back and don't ever address it, and I'll still buy it. But with Deathstroke, we're back on Deathstroke. If he's Deathstroke, cool. I think he'd be good. You know what I mean? He's played that kind of character before. It'd just be a bit weird that he plays a similar character in a DC film as well as a Marvel film, but I think we should be beyond that now at this point, considering all they do is make comic book movies. Mm-hmm. Another actor who I wouldn't mind seeing them...
Ron Perlman?
No, not Ron, no. What's...
Thomas Jane?
No, Tamura Morrison? Can't pronounce his name. The guy that played Jango Fett from Star Wars Attack of the Clones.
Oh, okay.
That was in We Were Warriors. He'd be who I'd pick. Okay?
Interesting.
He'd be who I'd pick. He's got the physique. He's also a Maui, kind of like the guy that was in the TV show as well.
He would sound like Jango Fett.
So, yeah, but I think he'd be a good Deathstroke. There are other people. If you wanted to go muscle bound people, we could go the Rock route or Vin Diesel route. But, oh, wait, one's Shazam and the other one might be someone else. So, I don't know, man. Deathstroke, to me, you could pick.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Because every time I heard that name, it sends a shiver down my spine. What the hell is Shazam?
Shazam is a superhero. It's a bit of a magical kind of thing. Yeah.
Why is his name Shazam?
Because you got to say the word Shazam to become Shazam.
Oh dear.
Okay, the protagonist is actually an 8-year-old boy. He's an 8-year-old boy.
That makes sense.
When he says Shazam, he becomes a big...
Sounds like Banana Man then.
Yeah, kind of thing. But you know what? I watched the Shazam animated movie. We went into the origin. I've totally forgotten what happened. But I remember really enjoying it and going, oh, okay, so that's Shazam, and I want to see the movie and how they do that. And whether they keep an 8-year-old kid as that. If I did that movie, I'd make it like a very like Stranger Things, Super 8 kind of tone. Because I think it has that kind of thing to be a different kind of superhero movie than anything we got. We give it that 80s kind of tone, but set in the now somehow. But that's the thing, you shift the period away, it stops being that kind of film, I feel. But if you could recreate that tone somehow, but make it into a superhero movie and make a Shazam movie that way, that'd be cool. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that, on the Shazam thing, which has nothing to do with Deathstroke. But anyway, Ben Affleck is looking like he's doing a good job on the Batman movie. He's given us a villain we've never seen before on screen for the mass audience, because no one's seen that. Also, it looks like if you're having Deathstroke in there, I want Will Smith's Deadshot in there. Make it about the mob and bounty hunters and stuff. You know what I mean? After the bat, that'd be cool. But the rumours suggest it's going to be more of an Arkham Asylum thing, so maybe there's a couple more villains up in there, I don't know, but we'll see, man, we'll see. I'm interested to see what this Batman film what this Batman film is or could be, with Jeff Jones being the writer, it's going to be awesome.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we'll find. Well, there's more stories that are going to come out on this, obviously. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on that if we can. Okay, so on to the main story, and that is movies for the rest of the year. We're now in September, and we're coming up to that. Yeah, we're finishing off the rest of the year. It was a bad summer, I think, and but it looks like the films for the rest of the year will be pretty good. And so we've got a whole list of films here that will be coming out between now and December. And so Sach, you tell me what you think of these films. So okay, I'm going to skip that first one. We've got Sully, which stars Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah, so it's a Clint Eastwood film. It's already been reviewed, and it's got mediocre reviews, but you can never really write off Tom Hanks and Clint Eastwood, because they're both very good filmmakers.
Oh yeah.
This is Sully's about the guy that landed in the
I know.
So yeah, I mean, the biopics can be tricky sometimes. So yeah, that's one film I'm looking forward to. Bridget Jones's Baby.
Yeah, if you're in for a rom-com, I'm sure Bridget Jones would be good. The past two have been hilarious. I liked Renee Zellweger in the role. Yeah.
And she manages to look more or less the same as she did 10 years ago.
Yeah, which is a hard feat. I don't know why all these rumours about her looking completely different.
No, because she did. If you saw the picture of her, it's like, who's that?
Oh, okay.
She looked completely different.
What, in the movie or outside the movie?
No, it was. She went to an award show.
Oh, okay.
And it was the first time she'd been seen in months, and she looked. People were wondering who it was.
Oh, okay.
And that's Renee Zellweger. I freaking hell. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Colin Firth returns for this, and unfortunately, no.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, no Hugh Grant. He's been replaced. He is that. Well, it's a different character, but Patrick Dempsey from what's that? From Grey's Anatomy or Transformers. Yeah,
Transformers. I've not seen Grey's Anatomy, but
so yeah, people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy. That's where he started, and so yeah, I think he's still on the show, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
He might not be, actually. He might have died. But yeah, Patrick Dempsey is now in that role, and that's another film coming out there. Okay, so Snowden. That's another film that's coming out. This is Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays Edward Snowden, who is the guy who's the whistleblower in the NSA. He was an NSA employee who blew the whistle on what the NSA were doing to the American public.
I remember the trailer for that one. It looked quite interesting.
Yeah. It's almost like, it's essentially, if any of you have seen the show 24, it's basically
Oliver Stone's new film as well, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, it's got Scott Eastwood and the girl that was in the Detergent series.
As I was saying, if you guys
Woodley.
Okay, so next film is Blair Witch, which is the sequel to the 1999 film, horror film. Well, I wouldn't call it a horror film.
Found footage film.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'd call that a horror film. Psychological horror.
But there's no one. You don't see nothing really happens.
Watch that film and walk through a park late at night.
Yeah, sure, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, you wouldn't. So it's a psychological horror.
Yeah. I just wouldn't call it a straight up horror film.
No, because it isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't. It's
that's what most people class it as. Really, horror film. But yeah, this is the true sequel to this film.
Blair Witch 2.
You have to dismiss Book of Shadows.
What happened in that movie? I can't even remember Book of Shadows.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that because they're treating it in the same way as the first one was treated, and I'm all up for being scared.
Didn't they all go crazy or something?
No, they didn't go crazy. None of them. They're all fine.
No, in number 2, I'm trying to remember.
Oh right.
I remember us just laughing in that movie. It was a staff preview, and we were laughing our asses off.
I can't remember, but it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so and then we've got the Magnificent Seven, which is a remake of the Sergio Leone's.
It's not Sergio Leone.
Is it not?
No. I don't know who. I can't remember. It's not. It's definitely not Sergio Leone.
So who directed the original?
Some other. There were billions of directors that did billions of films, man, and they were all westerns in the 60s. So it's one of those guys. I can find out, but it's not. It's definitely 100% not. It is. John Sturges.
Oh right, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. Who did The Great Escape?
Well, shut my mouth. Okay, so
you got to understand though, Sergio Leone's westerns, and this is one thing I'm going to say. We're talking The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. What's it? For a Few Dollars More and Fistful of Dollars, and what's it? Once Upon a Time in America. They have those 4 films are fucking fantastic, and he has a very distinct directional style that sets it apart from any other westerns, and there's a reason why his name gets touted as a great western, because those 4 films still hold up in my opinion to watch. If I said, let's go watch a western, let's watch this western, even though it looks old, the style of it, you know what I mean, the style of the movie making, regardless of how it's done, is more modern and stands the test of time a lot more to any of the other westerns that came out in that time period, if that makes sense. It uses techniques that are used today. Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, they visually reference those movies in all of their films. You know what I mean? And that's what sets it apart from, like, you know what I mean? Like the original Magnificent Seven, it's a great film. It's a fantastic film. It's a classic. But for me personally, it ain't got shit on a Sergio Leone movie. So I had to jump in there when you said, no, Sergio Leone. I was like, no way.
Well, that's the whole point of this.
No way. No way.
I've never seen the...
Have you never seen it?
No.
Oh, okay. No, it's a good film. It's a damn good film. Definitely check it out. But if you want my opinion, just my opinion on westerns, like those 4 films, you know what I mean? They just have this timeless kind of thing. You know what I mean? In my opinion. You know what I mean? Where it just seems still relevant kind of thing. But that's just my opinion. You know, other people might disagree. Like, no, they're shit westerns compared to this stuff. And I'm like, cool. List that stuff in the comments below, and I'll check those things because I'm always up for watching new films and stuff. But for me, I'm a big Sergio Leone fan. So yeah,
I'm a big fan of Hell on Wheels. So if there's anyone that wants to watch a series based in the West, the Wild West, watch Hell on Wheels. It's basically Red Dead Redemption if you're a gamer as well. Okay, so yeah, the Magnificent Seven is directed by what's his name? I said his name earlier.
Anton Fuqua.
Yeah, Anton Fuqua, and stars Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt. Okay, so this is a Tim Burton film coming up. How do you pronounce this woman's name? Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which is essentially X-Men. It looks like his version of X-Men First Class, or that's the only way I can describe it. Well, how would you describe it?
A very strange trailer that has me intrigued, but at the same time, I'm not really too bothered about seeing this movie.
Fair enough.
Lovely Tim Burton, but like outside of Batman, Beetlejuice, and all your old classics, I've kind of gone off your visual style. after Big Eyes. Is it Big Eyes? I don't know, Bug Eyes. Either way, didn't like that movie. In fact, you know what? Big Fish was the last Tim Burton movie where I was like, wow, that's a good movie. My favourite Tim Burton movie is still Sleepy Hollow, though. Love Sleepy Hollow. That's such a sick film.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's just...
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this stars Eva Green and Samuel Jackson, directed by Tim Burton, as you said.
Samuel Jackson looks like he's that character from Unbreakable in that film.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he just looks like...
Mr. Glass.
Yeah, he just looks like Mr. Glass.
Okay, so this is a bit of a controversial one, Birth of a Nation. It comes in October. That comes out in October.
Is it October?
I think it's over in America. It comes out in October, but because of what's happened to Nate Parker, it may miss that date.
What's happened to Nate Parker?
So allegedly something happened years ago before at the beginning of his career, and it's come back to haunt him. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to say it on the podcast.
Okay.
But it totally it kind of ruined what this film represents.
Right.
And so the studio decided to look. We're going to hold back.
Right. Okay.
On this thing, and I'm not actually sure if it's coming out on this at the time it's coming. It was planned to be released, so
right. Okay.
They may push it back further. So I don't know until this thing blows over or whatever. But that's something that I wanted to watch because it's a culturally important film, and
well, I remember the trailer and it looked really good. And
it's gruesome. It's almost like 12 Years a Slave in the sense that it's got something to say about where we're still at, and it's a shame what's happened to Nate Parker with this, but hopefully that will be sorted out and the film was released. But this said about that than anything. Armie Hammer is also in that film as well. Okay, so you've got. I'm going to skip some of the films here because there's lots of films here. You've got Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, which is released in October as well, and that's the sequel to Jack Reacher, I'm looking forward to this film. It's I like the first Jack Reacher film. This one looks like Tom Cruise is making it his own thing again, just like the Mission Impossible franchise. And it's hopefully will be. Is it still being written by who's it been written by? I thought
Christopher McQuarrie.
Yeah. And so and as far as I'm concerned, after the last Mission Impossible film, I would get him to do. These guys need to do everything together. They work really well together. So, I'm looking forward to that, Sach.
This is the Jack Reacher sequel. Yeah, loved the first Jack Reacher. Probably one of a few roles where Jai Courtney wasn't a plank of wood in because he had little to say, other than taking a beating from Tom Cruise. Loved that film. Love the fact they're doing the second one. Hopefully, I look forward to see this becoming like a brand new franchise for Tom Cruise, like for him to keep, because there's a load of books, something like 18 books. If they could whoop out all 18 movies, I'm there, man. I don't know whether Tom would commit to that, but we'll see, man. I quite like the idea of the character. I like the myth of the character. I like the fact that he just goes in and sorts shit out. I love that trailer as well because it was so. If you've seen the first one, it's so typical of this character to do that in such a way. Like, it was so cool. But yeah, can't wait for this movie, man. Really can't. Love to see what they do with this one and beyond. So,
Well, okay, on to the next film. That's. I'm looking forward to this one purely because John Hammond is in it. This is Keeping Up with the Joneses, and this is one of those films that's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but it's if your neighbours were watching what they were doing, and seeing what they were up to. So you've got Zach Galifianakis and Isla Fisher in this, who are the neighbours, and Gal Gadot and John Hamm is in this, and they are like these spies.
Yeah.
As I said, it's very much like Mr. and Mrs. Smith in that vein, but it's like other people looking into their world, and you see them doing all this weird stuff, but you don't know what it really is about, and they're kind of brought into that world in a really weird way. To be honest, John Hamm is has got good comedy chops on him. It's very different from his role in Mad Men or any of the other films that he's done. Well, actually, no, that's not a lot. That's a bit of a lie because he's done some comedy. But yeah, this is one I'm particularly referring to because it just looks silly. Sach?
Well, I mean, it's done by Greg Mottola, who did Superbad, Paul, and Adventureland, which I'm a fan of all of those movies. I didn't really dig the trailer at all.
I love the trailer.
I just thought, when you said Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that's what I saw. I saw Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I hated Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I thought it sucked balls. Yeah, I said it. I'm one of the few people that didn't like the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie romance thing going on there. I just thought it was dull, boring, etc. That film just really made me want to sleep, and I'm a big fan of, the director of Go, and Jason Bourne #1. I've forgotten the director's name, but it will come to me. Doug Liman. Yeah, Doug Liman. I like Doug Liman because that Tom Cruise film he did, Live, Die, Repeat, or whatever the hell it's called these days.
All You Need Is Kill.
All You Need Is Kill, or what was it called? Anyway.
It had like 3 other titles.
And we're not saying the one it was marketed on. Either way, I just don't care. It's just me.
Cool. Okay, so we're going to Inferno, and this is the third film in the Da Vinci Code series, which brings back Tom Hanks as Robert Langdon, who was the protagonist in the first 2 films, and Felicity Jones is in this as well. This woman is showing up everywhere now. This is I think the 4th book in.
Yeah, 4th book.
And so they
skipped the 3rd one.
Yeah, they skipped the 3rd one, and so going by the trailers, it does look interesting. The last film was okay, but that was such a while ago. I don't even know why they waited so long to do this.
They could have done the 3rd film by now, the 3rd book by now.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. But,
maybe they felt this book had a better story or something, and maybe they want to work on. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I've never actually seen this series of films.
Oh, fair enough.
What was the Da Vinci Code any good?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I remember when it was a phenomenon, like the books and stuff, and everyone was talking about it and stuff. When the movie came out, it just kind of was beyond me. Maybe I didn't get someone to see it with me at the time or something, but because I hadn't seen the first one, I just didn't see the second one, and it's just become that series of films where it's just, I just didn't see it. Not because I didn't want to, just because I just didn't get round, but maybe I should check it out on Netflix. But the trailer to this one intrigued me, the plot intrigues me. I've not read any of the books, so I quite wouldn't mind wanting to see this one. So I might check the other 2 just to catch up.
Okay, so we've got Doctor Strange next, and this is Benedict Cumberbatch, Tilda Swinton, and what's his name? Oh my God, I forgot his name. That's so bad. Do excuse me. What's his name? Sach, why don't you know what his name is?
Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor, yeah, that's right. So this is one of Marvel's, would you say, E-list characters?
Huh? E-list? No, yeah. Doctor Strange is very much a B or an A.
An A?
Well, when it comes to the books, he's up there, but he's one of their strangest characters. You know what I mean? Because it's to do with magic and stuff. You know what I mean? Everyone's heard of Doctor Strange.
I only heard about him a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always known about Doctor
I
Strange.
never knew who he was until he was mentioned. People started mentioning him.
And you're like, who's Doctor Strange?
Who the hell is Doctor Strange?
See your Okay, well, I'd say he's definitely B-list then. Okay, everyone. Okay, when you read comic books, everyone's aware of who Doctor Strange is. You might have even read him in your favorite Marvel comics, and when he shows up in Spider-Man or shows up in X-Men and stuff, because that was my first introduction to Doctor Strange from reading comic books and stuff as a kid. But I never bought one of his comic books, so I'm not really that well versed into, like, you know, what Doctor Strange does every day and what's so strange about him. I know it's to do with magic and, like, you know, more of the mystical side of the Marvel universe, you know, like demons and witches and all that kind of shit, and kung fu and that kind of stuff, because he goes to Tibet or somewhere or something like that. All I know is he's a surgeon. Okay, he's a neurosurgeon or a surgeon or something, and he thinks of him as a god because his hands are like, you know, they give life or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way he has an ego about himself, and that ego is brought him back down to earth where an accident happens where his hands are burnt or mutilated or something, and he cannot use his hands to do his job as a doctor, kind of thing. So he goes on a quest for enlightenment or whatever, because he's rich or whatever, to go find himself or whatever, that leads him with that puts him together with the Ancient One, that shows him other ways, you know, the other side of the Force or whatever, I don't know, and basically teaches him the way of, you know, becoming Doctor Strange and superpowers and all of that stuff. And he generally wants to learn what they know because he's intrigued, and it's also a way of sorting out his hands and stuff. So he's like, okay, let me learn these ways and stuff, and he becomes more than just himself, because it's more an ego thing. Hence why there's an Iron Man reference, because a lot of people might go, oh, this is the Iron Man story, so a guy with an ego is humbled and now he's, you know what I mean, doing his thing. So, but that's essentially, oh shit, I've just said the whole story to Doctor Strange there. But no, there's more to it. There's other bad guys and stuff, so yeah. But the trailer looks really unique. You know, it's got an Inception-y, kaleidoscope kind of vibe to it. Yeah, I can't wait for Doctor Strange. Mainly because it's a Marvel film and they rarely do a step wrong.
Cool.
So yeah.
Okay, so the next film we've got Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Sorry, I had to skip a few because we're coming up to 2 hours now. I need to get this done. Yeah, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's the first in a trilogy of these films, which is it's an offshoot of the Harry Potter series, which J.K. Rowling wrote, and this stars Eddie Redmayne. I've never been a Harry Potter fan, but this does look interesting. It looks like it's very much set in this world. It's got the same aesthetic. It feels like a Harry Potter film, and so I'm sure that, I mean, this is going to do well. I can't see it not doing well at all. So it's at this point, the Harry Potter films are guaranteed to make money, just like Star Wars films are.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's in the same league. It's definitely in the same league. There's no, you know, even though Harry Potter wasn't something like I grew up with as a kid, because it was very much the kind of movie like a girlfriend of mine would like take me to or whatever, want to see or stuff. I've watched all the films. I get the fascination. I'm not really that mad into it, like, oh my god, Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts. You know what, because I've seen the other films, I think I'm just going to join the ride and see where these Fantastic Beasts are and where they find them and stuff, and how there's not a Pokemon Go type app to go with the movie. I don't know, but you know, no, it's done by David Yates, who did the past 4 installments of Harry Potter, and that was his film school. He also did the Tarzan movie that came out earlier on this year. Misstep, yeah, but you know what? You know, he's back where he belongs in the Potterverse, and this guy knows his stuff when it comes to the world of J.K. Rowling, hence the fact that everything looks consistent within that world, and the aesthetic of the Potter films are still vibrant and there within this movie. I think it will be a good one, to be honest, and hopefully it'll be different enough to get the non-fans in So yeah.
Okay, well, on from that to a Star Wars, well, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which I still think is a freaking confusing title.
I think they should have kept the original title, Star Wars Anthology. If you've read a book, you know what an anthology is, and Rogue One. You know what I mean? It clearly says what it is, you know?
But yeah, I guess this is what it's called. I'm compelled to... I'm very interested to see what this film's about. I think other people are more excited than I am, but I'm still interested to see that side of things. Even though it's still grounding itself in the original trilogy universe, which I don't think is a necessarily bad thing, as they're telling a sort of a new story. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Sach. This also has Felicity Jones in it, by the way. Sach.
Was she in the Harry Potter one?
No, she was in one of the other films we mentioned.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, her name's just all over the shop.
Well, after her Oscar nod, yeah, she's going to be everywhere, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on, man, it's Star Wars. I'm fucking there. Opening day, December 16th?
Yep.
December 16th, I'm there. I'm booking it off work. I've booked it off work. I'm there. Opening day, paying hardcore cash. I don't usually pay for movies, but I'll pay for a Star Wars movie. And
he's lying. He always pays for movies.
Yeah. But anyway, no, yeah, really want to see it. I can't really express how much I want to see this, because I think I've already covered it in a lot of other podcasts, that I'm a Star Wars super fan. So yeah, can't wait to see what they do with this one.
Yeah, so stick a pin on that one, folks. Okay, so to the next one is Passengers, which no one really knows anything about because there's not been a trailer for it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it comes out in December.
Who's in it?
Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. It's supposed to be like this. It's a movie set in space, and they wake up from suspended animation. You've not heard of it?
No.
Really?
Not heard of it.
Wow. Anyway, okay.
When the trailer comes, I'll have more to say. At the moment, Joe's pitch sounds like they just woke up on a journey from the Nostromo.
Yeah, it's got that vibe to it.
Oh, okay.
From some of the pictures that have been shown online, because that's all you can see.
Okay.
It's gone back in for reshoots, I believe. Which
I don't think that's going to make December release date.
Oh no, I mean
we'll see.
It's been filmed digitally, man. You can do anything. You can do anything. You can change anything these days and put it into the film the day before it gets released. But I don't think the reshoots are anything bad to go on this. It's just something that clearly needed to be done, and hopefully we'll get a trailer for it soon, and whatever's wrong or right with this film will either show up in the trailer or not, and hopefully it's a good film. I mean, Chris Pratt, can do no wrong at the moment. Yeah. He's a draw. He's a box office draw. So yeah, I hope it goes well. And so is Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
So you've got two of the biggest box office draws in the same film. Yeah. Come on, man. So yeah, when the trailer comes out, you'll be the first to know. Okay, and so on to Assassin's Creed. So as we were talking about earlier, this is another video game movie that doesn't center on the main character of the video game. It centers on someone else, and the video game is Ezio or something like that, or I don't know. But it's from what I've been told, the main character in this Assassin's Creed film is not the main character in the video game, but he's got the same attire from what I can see, and yeah, it should be a pretty interesting film. I'm looking forward to this more than I was Warcraft, and that's not saying much, but I just hope it's good, because that will get a lot of other video game films greenlit, and I think that will open the floodgates. This film may open the floodgates for everything, in the sense that, that property that we never thought making, we're going to make it now.
Yeah.
Or like there was supposed to be a Portal film coming out.
Yeah, I read something like that. And never got anywhere really. But
it's still in
development hell.
Yeah, in the loop.
Was it J.J. Abrams on board with that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
in that sense, and yeah, I really don't know what to think. I don't know what else to say about it. Really, it's your 2 cents now.
Oh, yeah.
You look so dazed.
It looks good and stuff.
Okay. That's the last
I've got
film.
nothing more to say, man. It looks good, man. It looks good. I'll be interested to see how they play about Assassin's Creed and stuff, I guess. At this point, until I see the movie, I can't really say because the trailers look good. But then, I've not played the games and stuff, but I did like that featurette showing like the stunt man doing the real stunt, kind of thing. That was kind of cool when he does the leap of faith. That looked awesome. But yeah.
Well, at least there's one person I know that will be looking forward to it, and that's what's his face?
Shivam.
Yeah, Shivam. He'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip old but new this week again.
Okay.
As we're going over time, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark. So.
Oh shit.
My
bad.
It was going on to the films opening this week. So we've got Ben-Hur, Anthropod, Don't Breathe, Kubu and the Two Strings. Kabo and the Two Strings. I don't know if I pronounced that right at all. And so Ben-Hur, oh boy.
You'll skip.
So, but if people are film fans, they'll know that Ben-Hur has kind of bombed in the US, and I can't see it doing anything here. I think it doesn't really bode well for like sword and sandal films. It's just it's not gonna go well, man. Tremel Burke. This is the guy that did
Night Watch and Day Watch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. I heard some of the chariot scene's supposed to be pretty good.
Oh really?
Apparently.
Okay.
From what I've heard, but that's about it. As soon as I saw what's his name? Who's in this film? Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name.
Morgan Freeman.
With dreadlocks. That's when it just broke everything for me. That's not why I'm not gonna watch this film. It looks bad, but that was the icing on the cake. Yeah, Morgan Freeman with dreadlocks. Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. That was far too bizarre for me. But yeah,
they just should have never remade Ben-Hur.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a classic, you gotta really give it to someone like maybe
Scott.
Yeah, someone like Ridley Scott. He would.
I don't think Ridley Scott would touch it though.
No, I don't think he would.
I don't think he would. I mean, he made his Ben-Hur. It's called Gladiator.
Yeah,
and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that's his favourite genre. I mean, like, to be quite honest, and he does it well. You know what I mean? Regardless of what you think of certain stuff. I mean, like, for me, Robin Hood didn't work, but I cannot flaw his aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has this aesthetic, this visual style to that genre, which worked quite clearly in Kingdom of Heaven and Gladiator. Even Exodus, which I didn't think was that bad.
Yeah.
Robin Hood didn't sit right with me, but then that was intended to be 3 films, not just the one. But
yeah, I really wish it was a better film so we could see the
progression.
Yeah, because that would have been pretty cool to see that. Anyway, we've spent far too much time on that film. Sorry, there's one more film, Hell or High Water, at the end. Okay, so the next film is Anthropod, and this is a World War II film. It's about 2 Czech soldiers who parachute into their occupied homeland and to assassinate a Nazi officer. And it's from what I understand, it's quite a well-told story in the Czech Republic and Czechoslovakia, and Slovakia, and I know some people that will be the people that know the story will be interested in going to see this film. It's quite a because it's not a well-known story
Yeah.
in the UK or in America. I'm not sure how well this
it
film will do
but
here.
no, I'm sure it'll do well in Eastern Europe. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the trailer the other day. It looks really, really well done. If you're into your World War II thriller, espionage kind of films, this is probably the one for you. It definitely looks interesting. Play on the spy genre. It's got Cillian Murphy, I do believe, is one of the stars. Who else is in there?
Jamie Doran. He's the guy that's in 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, yeah, that dude. But yeah, no, it has a really good trailer. I'm actually intrigued to go check this out. So yeah, I mean, like, guys, what do you think? Mention on the comments below whether you think yay or nay. But definitely check out the trailer at least. If you're not sold by it, fair enough. But it sold me.
Well, yeah, I'm always interested in these kind of. I never got to see Valkyrie. I really wanted to see that. I mean, I can catch it anytime, but I wanted to.
Oh,
catch it.
the Tom Cruise one by Bryan Singer. That was a really good film.
Yeah, I really want to see that. I mean, I'll catch it, but I always it keeps popping up. Oh yeah, Valkyrie.
Yeah,
yeah. I want to see that. So yeah, that's that comes out on the 9th of September. And to the next film is Don't Breathe, and this is would you say horror film? No,
thriller. I'd
thriller.
say more a thriller.
Yeah, thriller.
I wouldn't say it's an all-out horror, but it's a thriller.
Yeah, so Don't Breathe.
Starring Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang. So Stephen Lang's the guy from Avatar, the evil man from Avatar.
He's now an evil blind guy with a stick. This should be a Daredevil spin-off. This should be Stick. This should be Stick's story. And Stephen Lang looks like Stick. I'm just saying, he does look like Stick. You know, in this, could you imagine that? Just be a Stick spin-off, it'd be awesome. Well, no, this trailer looks fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it, check out the trailer for Don't Breathe. This is actually the movie I want to see this week. Okay, it looks fantastic. Really original play on the horror thriller kind of genre. Yeah, sold by the conception.
Yeah, I'm sold on it as well. It's such a interesting concept to play with. In the sense that, okay, you're in this guy's domain now, and you're playing by his rules.
Well, it's not even that. Just the fact that you think he's the victim.
Because he's blind.
He's not just because he's blind, because they break into his house to rob him. But you know, he's actually a serial killer. That's a blind person.
Well. Yeah, so that comes out on the 9th of September as well.
Yeah.
And, okay, so we're going to Kaboo and the Two Strings, and this is a stop-motion film by the, what's the director? Travis Knight. So he did Coraline, and so it's in that same vein, and it apparently didn't do that well in America. It's doing okay, but not as well as anyone would have hoped, because this looks like a really good looking film. It's when I saw it at the beginning of the year, when I saw the trailer for the beginning of the year, I thought, wow, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's got it's what's that Disney film called Mulan? Is it Mulan? Yeah, Mulan.
Yeah.
It's got that vibe to it. It's a very mystical. This is a Japanese folk tale, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, it's got that. It's got such a interesting art style to it. It's. I applaud you to go see this when it comes out here, because it just looks so vibrant and different from the normal run of the Pixar films and all the animated films that come out these days. It's just something different, and I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes it's got 96%, so it's not a bad film. It's been reviewed well, so it's come on guys, come out and support this film, man. You've got to. Yeah, that comes out on September 9th as well. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you nailed it on the head there.
Okay. So the last film is Hell or High Water, and this film stars Ben Foster, Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, and from what I can gather about this,
bit of a crime thriller.
It's a crime thriller. Yeah. So it's an ex-convict that I can't read anymore. So basically, two brothers plan a series of heists against a bank that's about to foreclose on their house, and so they've got to find a way to pay for the house, and they decide to rob a bank. A series of banks, I believe, and so it's one of those films where they're doing something bad, but you're rooting for them at the same time because they've been put in a position where there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
And I like films like that where it spends the normal what you would normally think. What's the word I'm trying to say? The normal. Oh God, I can't think. You got to take over here. The normal conceit of being what a villain is, and just it spins that on its head, and it's, as Sat said, a crime thriller. Thanks for the help. I
didn't know what you were trying to spit out, Joe. I mean, you know, you went on a little yarn there. I didn't really read the synopsis. I just saw the trailer. I felt it was a really strong trailer for a crime thriller. It has all these stars that I generally like as acting talents, being the dude, Jeff Bridges, and Chris Pine, and I guess Ben Foster as well. And you know, it just looked really interesting and refreshing because we haven't seen a film like this in a while. So, you know, that's ideally why I want to see Hell on High Water. Yeah,
so, again, that comes out on September 9th as well. And that's it for the... that's all for the films that open this week. Yeah, that's it. That's it for the films opening this week. Okay, Sach.
Yeah.
Film 20 questions. Me again.
You again?
Yeah.
Why?
I keep doing you, and
okay.
I can see you getting fatigued by it.
Okay, sure. All right. Yeah, I've got it.
So, if you don't know what Film 20 Questions is, folks, it's so we have a So we write a film down, or one of us will write a film down, and one of us will have 20 questions yes or no questions to guess what this film is, and I will start right now.
Okay, so.
Is this film set in the 90s?
Yes, it is.
Okay, fantastic. On a home run so far. Is this film? Does this film have a famous director?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Does this film have famous actors?
Yes, it does.
Does it have an ensemble cast?
In a way, but I'd say no.
Okay. Alright. Is this a genre film? Is it a actually no, scratch that. This is a science fiction film.
Nope.
Comedy?
Nope.
Drama?
Nope.
Thriller?
Yes.
Okay. I was running out of visuals there. Okay. For the famous director, famous actors. Is there more than one director on this film?
No.
Okay. Yeah, there's some films have more than one director.
I know.
True Romance.
Nope.
Okay. Eek. Okay. Is this director still making films?
Not as much as he used to.
Okay. Is the main protagonist male or female?
Male.
Male. How many questions have I used up?
12.
Wow. Okay. Is there a shootout in this film?
There's guns in it, but I wouldn't say there was a shootout.
Is Samuel L. Jackson in this film?
Nope.
Okay. Is there a female lead in this film?
Yes, there is.
Okay. How many questions now?
15.
Okay. Is there yeah, gosh, I can't think of what this is at all. It's a tough one. Is there any Is this a small or big film? Is it a big budget film?
It's a big budget film.
Okay. The director doesn't make as many films as he used to.
Yeah, like his IMDb page says he's working on things, but I can't think of when the last film he did was, because it's probably been a real long time.
Okay. I'm having trouble with this one. This is harder than the one last week.
There's a great action sequence in Virginia, America.
It could be any film.
I didn't want to say more than that. Otherwise, I could have said another location. It probably would have narrowed it down. No. Okay. There's a big action sequence in.
Let me use all my questions, okay. and then I'll.
Okay, I'll give you a better tip. There's quite a lot of it in London.
Okay.
Like a good fraction of it's in London.
Okay, so how many questions do I have left?
4.
4 questions. Okay. Okay, so Is Robert De Niro in this film?
No.
Okay. Damn it.
You figured Ronin, weren't you?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. It's like, hang on, wait, where's Robert De Niro? Oh yeah, 99, yeah. Mind you, that's half the films in 99.
Honestly, I'm lost. I'm lost for words. I don't think I'm gonna get this film. Does it have a film score or a soundtrack?
Score, definitely
okay.
Score.
It's definitely not Don Simpson film.
No.
It's not Tony Scott, clearly. It's not Ridley Scott. It's not. I have no idea what this film is. I can't think of any other questions I can ask. Is there George Clooney's not in this film, right?
No.
Okay.
One more question. One more question. The film score is done by...
No, don't tell me.
Okay.
It's director Brian De Palma.
Yes.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. It's right in front of you the whole time.
Oh, right. Okay.
I was even like, I was doing this theme tune as well, like.
I was not focusing on that.
Okay, I was like, do 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 do. You were just still guessing.
Good. I used all my questions up, and
I got it.
Just one more thing, because I couldn't. For the life of me, I couldn't think what it was in the 90s. I just couldn't think. I was thinking of Stephen Sommers. No, it can't be Stephen Sommers.
You thinking late 90s. I was just thinking, no, De Palma, Mission Impossible, let's go.
Yeah. Good one. Okay, well, thanks for that, Sach. And thank you, listeners. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do that on, if you write into the... we've got an email address. So yeah, you can email us at podcast@zedosgame.co.uk. Write in about anything you want, if you're wrong, or if you just want to comment on anything. If you want to, this goes up on YouTube, SoundCloud, what's the other one? YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio. So yeah, feel free to listen to this podcast however you want, and leave a comment, and or leave on iTunes. Just give us a rating, even if it's 1 star or whatever. I'm not even sure how the rating system works on iTunes, but leave us a rating anyway. Thank you again, Sach. Thank you, audience. This has been the Zedos Game podcast, and we're out.